Ohio, for the term ending December 31st, 2027, to which I have been appointed. All right, Judy, if it's okay with you, I'll go ahead and swear you in for the court. Want to step up? Ready? Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Judy Melchion, do hereby solemnly swear that I shall support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that I shall faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties of member of the Clean Court for the Village of Cleves, Ohio, for the term ending December 31st, 2026, to which I have been appointed. Thank you. Judy is serving in two different positions, so I'm swearing you in separately for the two different positions. So we also have you as a member of the Zoning Appeal Board. So raise your right hand and repeat after me again. I, Judy Melchion, do hereby solemnly swear that I shall support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that I shall faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties of member of the Zoning Appeals Board for the Village of Cleves, Ohio, for the term ending December 31st, 2030. December 31st, 2030, to which I have been appointed. Thank you.
2030, you have to think about it.
They got you. Yeah. All right, and the next one will be for Sylvia. This will also be as a member of the Cleveland Board. All right, raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Sylvia Strigari, do hereby solemnly swear that I shall support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that I shall faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties of member of the Clean Court for the Village of Cleves, Ohio, for the term ending December 31st, 2026, to which I have been appointed. No, I did mine already.
You don't want us to give you another job?
But I'm like, there we go.
I've got a lot of chops. Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is one for another year. We can get 5 years. I'll get 5 years.
All right, and now that we have sworn in our new council member, I need if you could please mark her as in attendance for tonight's meeting.
Yes.
All right, and we will proceed then with the agenda items. The council meeting minutes from February the 11th, 2026. Once everybody has reviewed them, I'll need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
It's been moved by Mrs. Bolton, a second by Mr. Babel, to approve the meeting minutes from the council meeting held on February the 11th, 2026. Penny, can I have a roll call?
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Angeline?
Yes.
Ms. Meyer?
I abstain.
Ms. Bolton?
Yay.
Mr. Babel?
Yay.
Ms. Kemp?
I abstain. All right, next will be the approval of the minutes of the special council meeting held on February the 18th, 2026. Once everybody has reviewed that, I'll entertain a motion to accept.
So move.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Very second.
Okay, sorry, Mary.
That's okay.
It's been moved by Mr. Babel and second by Ms. Angeline to accept the minutes of the Village of Cleves Special Council meeting held February the 18th, 2026. Can I have the roll call?
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Angeline?
Yes.
Ms. Meyer?
I abstain.
Ms. Bolton?
Yay.
Mr. Babel?
Yay.
Ms. Kemp?
I abstain. Okay, now we have the minutes of the special council meeting held on March the 9th, 2026. Again, once everybody has reviewed it, we will entertain a motion to approve these.
So move.
I'll second.
It's been moved by Mr. Babel and second by Mrs. Bolton to approve the minutes of the special council meeting held on March the 9th, 2026. Penny, can we have the roll call?
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Angeline?
Yes.
Ms. Meyer?
I abstain.
Ms. Bolton?
Yay.
Mr. Babel?
Yay.
Ms. Kemp?
I abstain. All right, next item on the agenda is to approval of the pay ordinance 3-2026.
I have a question. Cindy's not here, but I'm assuming this Jefferson Health Plan, is that a monthly cost?
No, I believe it's quarterly.
Quarterly?
I mean,
Does that include the waterworks and the village?
yes, she splits it.
That's fine. She split the pay ordinance like we wanted her to, which was great. And I just assumed that she does not need to split that up on there. I just wanted to clarify that.
No, she doesn't have the ability to put it on both.
I know.
Divide it, so
No, that's fine.
she does separate it based off of.
That's fine. I'm just confirming that. Yeah.
Why do we have two ultra fibers on here?
We have multiple Ultra Fiber accounts. One's for, we have multiple. Generally, they come separate for phone and internet.
Any other questions?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved by Mr. Rabel and second by Mrs. Bolton to approve the pay ordinance 3-2026 for the Village of Cleves, Ohio. Penny, can we have a roll call?
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Angelini?
Yes.
Ms. Meyer?
Yes.
Ms. Golden?
Yay.
Mr. Babel?
Yay.
Ms. Kent?
Abstain. The ordinance is approved. Next item on the agenda would be the Hamilton County Sheriff.
Very much, sir. Council, thanks for having me back. I'm Jason Schmid. And this will be the incident and criminal report for the village of Cleves, the month of February 2026. During the reporting period of February 2026, there were 133 billable calls for service, bringing the total of billable calls for year to date 264. There were 82 non-billable calls for service, bringing the total year to date to 108. The average response time was 7 minutes. The average time on scene was 13. During this reporting period, there were 14 incident reports taken, 3 non-criminal reports for psychiatric emergencies and medical runs, and 11 criminal incident reports taken for various reasons, 4 for theft, 1 for fraud, 1 for domestic violence, 1 for protection order violation, 1 for criminal damaging, 1 for drugs, narcotics, or overdose, put it together, and 2 for threats or arrest. There were 5 cases assigned to detectives for investigation during this reporting period. Also during this time, there were 50 proactive details that I've labeled them. They don't fit into another category, but they are important. These include field-initiated investigations involving suspicious activity or inquiry, direct patrols and extra patrols, suspicious vehicle and occupants, places found open, and investigative follow-up. Also during this time, for moving on to our traffic report, there were 7 crash reports taken, 2 at Cooper Avenue and US 50, 1 resulting in from ACDA or assured clear distance ahead, a rear end, and 1 for a failure to yield, resulting in minor injuries. 1 at South Miami, unattended vehicle that was at 8 South Miami at the end of the drive-through. Please drive through. There were no injuries. North Miami, there was a hit skid with no injuries. Mount Ebro Road, failure to control due to road conditions, no injuries. East State Street, improper backing, and North Miami at State Street, failure to control with no injuries. So only out of the 7, only 1 had minor injuries. There were 10 traffic stops. From that, 6 warnings, but there were 7 citations total, which includes citations from traffic crashes. 1 citation at Cooper Avenue, US 50 for ACDA, assured clear distance ahead and failure to yield. East State and North Miami for overweight and proper display. South Miami, unattended vehicle. East State Street, failure to yield, and North Miami, failure to control. Noteworthy incidents and events during this time period: 56 Cooper, 3 Rivers Elementary, threats and menacing. 224 and 226 deputies were dispatched to his classmates, 2 individual separate males. Each state involved different juvenile suspects, both age 11. Allegations were made that the boys threatened to shoot up the school. Prosecution was declined due to the age of the children in both cases by the prosecutor's office. Blue River Security, HCSO, CIS, Child Protective Services, the Juvenile Prosecutor's Office, and the Cincinnati Children's Hospital overall contacted and consulted to resolve each incident, along with the parents, obviously, where they were admonished back that they didn't care. That concludes my report, and do you have any questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
So I know as it gets warmer out, we're probably gonna see more of the motorized bicycles and 4-wheelers. Which should people, I mean, should they call that in so that you can give those kids?
Yeah, I
So
mean,
like it's gonna increase.
definitely, right? So I mean, depending on where they're driving it, how they're driving it, how big the motor is, things like that can go into the legality of whether or not they're allowed to do it. If it's on private property or on the street, definitely. You can have that case by case, depending on each one. But definitely call. I mean, if it's, it's a nuisance. I think, I want to speak out of turn, but maybe ordinance or something, we could work with that with Justin, you and I on what is the ORC can help with that versus what the village can help with that.
But the motorized bicycles are covered under the ORC. I don't remember off the top of my head the number, but
Yeah.
I had looked it up a few months ago.
Yeah.
We talked about
It has changed recently, but yeah, it is covered. And so there's, forget the terminology, miniature, some are allowed, some are not, right? So that's the case.
Jason and I had a conversation on this, kind of more broad about the park and some of the dirt bikes, other things that kick off in the park does. Jason and I have, get together and have a conversation, find a plan of attack for it.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I mean, more Coleman Woods kids have been already popping wheelies on little bikes and, yeah, so
In the street.
in the streets, yeah. And even, I've noticed a couple just even on South Miami already, when I've been during the day, so I feel like they're becoming a lot more popular for some reason all of a sudden, and I've seen a lot more, and so I just, yeah.
Some on Amazon.
Westgate has a couple too, couple
They're
boys, they
everywhere.
fly down Westgate
Yeah,
Hill.
they're everywhere. I mean, really, it's just a matter of people.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to bring up early, so wet and
Yeah.
cold. We gotta get ahead of it before the summer comes, and I'm sure it'll increase with the availability that's increased, online sales, and the how big these little motors are, and whether it's electric or gas, and things like that. But yeah, we'll have a conversation and come up with a plan for it.
Is there one plank of that that is regular bicycle safety? Are there any activities that HCSO has to enhance people's behavior with bicycles? Like, they're under obligation to obey the rules of the road, right? That's not happening. I can say that, no matter whether or not the vehicle itself is your fault.
So aside from whether or not the vehicle is legal, they're not operating this item legally in the street, so they're saying.
Yeah, and we can be quibbling over this, right? Maybe they blow through a stop sign.
Yeah.
You know, drive on somebody's hill between Westgate and Woods. Or maybe they operate street legal on the sidewalk. And even though there's rules about whether or not they're juvenile, I don't know these things in detail. I'm just asking if HCSO has ever brought resources to bear on general bicycle safety.
Not off the top of my head, I don't know. Definitely it's a conversation I can have with traffic safety. We do have a lot of resources that can have, that can consult, come up with a plan. Off the top of my head, a program or a public awareness memo, I'm not sure off the top of my head. Yeah, public awareness memo or something like that.
Something We Thrive might be able to get into.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Sick committee on you.
yeah. I'm a classic millennial. I like committee government. So I like the rule by committee.
Well, I would add any of that to the planks of that platform.
I agree, I wouldn't sell it. Jason, you and I'll link up and maybe you can reach out to traffic safety and in the minimum.
Yeah.
Here soon, we can put out a fact sheet on the website, just so at least parents see it, maybe they can, parents can govern it.
And that might be a lot of it too. Parents purchasing things for kids and they don't even realize it's, you're not allowed to have it. Or the kid's not on it. Sell these adult bikes that are like this big. Yeah, and we can on the plan and public awareness and for the bulletin. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone here tonight that would wish to address council? Alrighty, before we have you step up, I'm gonna read a statement. Village of Cleves values community input and encourages participation. While we welcome passionate viewpoints, we ask that all comments remain respectful and free of disruptive behavior. Our goal is to maintain a constructive and professional environment. Thank you for your cooperation. If you want to go ahead and step up to the podium and state your name and address.
Okay. So my name's Chad McLean. I live at 418 South Miami Avenue, like on that, like North Bend, there. Thanks for letting me speak to you, council, tonight. I came mainly to learn. This is my first time being at one of these meetings, and I've lived here for like 4 or 5 years now. Yeah, I was on the website and I saw a lot of lack information. It seems like we have a new mayor. Congratulations. But very confused about that. Like I found no information there, barely information like local news. And as a someone who participates in voting, right? That's like one position you vote on in the village. I was very concerned that there's not information on a position that's voted by the people for. So that was one concern I had. I don't know if now would be a good time to just like pause and hear from you.
You know, I mean, we're always looking to inform residents better, so what type of information would you feel would make you more informed as a citizen that just noticed that maybe Mayor Meister had taken over, or?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I saw like the website was updated, new mayor, and not knowing that had changed. So
It was not an election.
Right.
Prior mayor had resigned and I was vice mayor, so I stepped up to the position, but yeah, I hear you, but.
yeah, right, and
Even a blurb article about the change of.
yes, yeah, and you understand that like information like that, just a simple statement like that, like I'm surprised that the council didn't proactively do that. So, because I came here, it's like, what's going on, so thank you for hearing that concern.
I apologize
It's okay.
for that.
Yeah.
I just lost my brother. That
Oh.
all happened 2 days before services and my mind was elsewhere those first few weeks of my mayorship. So I will take your advice though. We can get some things updated.
Okay, yeah, and sorry for your loss, yeah, it's completely understandable, so, so that was that, and then the other thing too, the website had like a tentative date about zoning, and I've been out of the loop, so I didn't know if there had already been like 3 readings of the new zoning, documentation, and if it was being voted on tonight, because the date on the website said that this might have been the meeting to vote on, so I was also concerned about that, and just to like hear that, but I did talk to Justin before this meeting started, and he informed me that it's still way out before, and that it hasn't even been read yet at a council meeting or a special meeting for that. So that answered that question. But I was just glad to know that like, new laws governing how, residents have to maintain their property and, things like that. It's like, oh, that's a big deal. So, and then Justin invited me to like participate more in this. Like I can read the draft and ask questions and stuff outside the meeting, so that's good too.
Actually, can I say something? Anything that draws your attention, an ordinance, things are posted in 5 or 6 public places. Feel free to call Penny, she's the clerk of council, and you can get it's all public.
Yeah.
You can get a copy of any ordinance we adopt, anything that you're interested in.
That's good, because that was another thing, like, the using like the village website, that's right now my, go-to, and there's not even meeting, notes. Like all the meetings you had in 2006, it's not on the website, so I wasn't even sure how to get that, so.
I can speak to that. So you're right. I manage the website with our contractor. So one of the issues, and I'll talk about this in my administration report later, but we discovered that our calendar wasn't syncing as I believe it was. So we use Google as our host domain or platform. So constantly working with iPanda, who we contract with, or our web manager, to integrate Google better. Essentially, we put everything in the Google Drive. The goal here in the next couple of weeks is to have that Google Drive folder live, like living on the website, so you can go into the Google Drive and access anything in real time. So you should see that update coming. Just last week, we integrated the calendar, so anytime in real time, as our village clerk updates, puts a meeting, changes a meeting, it'll update and reflect on the website, so.
That's
That's a valid point, and we're continually working to improve that functionality.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for hearing my concerns and the information. So I hope that addresses those concerns. So yeah, it sounds like too that yeah, going forward, like the website will be a good spot to continue to get information. And then if there's something that I don't see, I can call. Okay, great.
The meetings are on YouTube, usually.
Yeah,
Okay,
We're
there,
currently in the process
Right.
of, with the changeover of getting equipment for recording, audio and visual.
yeah.
I would like to thank you for coming tonight,
Yes,
sharing your concerns, and invite you to attend council meetings whenever you're able.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that.
Anyone else from the public like to address council? Alrighty, we will move on to new business. We have a few resolutions and an ordinance to address tonight. The first resolution will be resolution number 7, 2026. It's a resolution approving an expenditure for the replacement of a dump truck bed for the village service department and declaring an emergency. This was discussed or did come through the finance committee. So we can open that for discussion with council and any questions can be addressed.
I have a question. How old, or how many miles does this 2006 dump truck have on it?
It is less, around 60,000, I believe. So the truck, it is our oldest truck in the fleet, so it's going to be replaced in 3 years. We talked about this in finance. Generally, we adopted the new standard of always purchasing stainless steel dump beds because they don't rust. That's more expensive, and understanding that we're only going to keep this truck for 3 years, we went to just a standard steel dump bed on this one, which brought it down about $7,000.
Are you waiting for a motion? I'll make a motion to approve resolution 7.
I was looking for a number. Second.
So is the motion? Please. Extend the rules.
Oh, we need to.
Read by title only.
We have to do the emergency part first. right?
Just a motion, emergency for a second. We are motioning to suspend the rules.
Okay.
Read by title only. Resolution number 7, 2026.
That's my motion.
Resolution approving an expenditure for the replacement of a dump truck bed for the village service department and declaring an emergency. Penny, can we have a roll call?
Mr. Burns,
Yes.
Miss Angeline,
Yes.
Miss Meyer,
Yes.
Miss Bolton,
Yay.
Mr. Babel,
Yay.
Miss Kemp.
Now, we can entertain a motion to declare an emergency and adopt.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved by Mr. Babel, second by Miss Angeline, to adopt resolution, declare an emergency and adopt resolution 7, 2026. And can we have the roll call?
Mr. Burns,
Yes.
Miss Angeline,
Yes.
Miss Meyer,
Yes.
Miss Bolton,
Yay.
Mr. Babel,
Yay.
Miss Kemp.
Yes.
Motion passes. Or, I'm sorry, resolution is adopted. The next one will be resolution number 8, 2026. And this is a resolution authorizing the administrator to apply for, accept, and enter into a water supply revolving loan account on behalf of the Village of Cleves for the construction of the Addiston Water Line Extension and meter replacement project and designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan. And I will let, Mr. Hayvig elaborate further on that.
So you passed this prior, months ago. We passed the same legislation for the Addiston water main, required to pass it again because the funding has changed. We've actually received additional money, some of around $90,000, sorry, $110,000 as of today. So we were awarded an additional $110,000, which will pay for the majority of the meters going in Addiston. And rather than taking an OWPA loan out, the remainder EPA has granted us a 0% loan. So more money, a 0% loan, which just requires new authorized legislation. Project scope remains the same.
And the loan is being paid back by fees that we'll collect from
Yes.
residents in Addison.
Yes.
No, this is the rules.
All right, if there's no questions or further discussion, I would like to entertain a motion to suspend the rules and read by title only.
So move.
I'll second.
Then moved by Mr. Babel and second by Mrs. Meyer, to suspend the rules and read by title only resolution number 8, 2026, resolution authorizing the administrator to apply for, accept, and enter into a water supply revolving loan account on behalf of the Village of Cleves for the construction of the Addiston Water Line Extension and meter replacement project and designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan. Penny, can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Burns? Ms. Angeline?
Yes.
Ms. Meyer?
Yes.
Ms. Bolton?
Yay.
Mr. Babel?
Yay.
Ms. Knapp?
I'll stay on this one.
Now we can entertain a motion to declare an emergency and, no. Okay. Resolution number 8, 2026 is passed. Now we need a motion to pass.
Adopt it.
Resolution number 8, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by Mrs. Bolton, and second by Mr. Babel to adopt resolution number 8, 2026. Roll call, please.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Angeline?
Yes.
Ms. Meyer?
Yes.
Ms. Bolton?
Yay.
Mr. Babel?
Yay.
Ms. Knapp?
I'll stay.
The ordinance is adopted. Or I'm sorry, the resolution number 8, 2026 is adopted. Next matter of business is ordinance number 5, 2026. This is an ordinance establishing an hourly stipend for the waterworks technicians who obtain and maintain an Ohio EPA water supply operator class 1 license or higher and declaring an emergency.
Yeah, we talked about this in finance, and I think it's been mentioned at a previous meeting as well. We are lucky enough to have 2 waterworks technicians that have taken the test for the first, the license,
They're class, so yes, we operate a class 1
class
water
1.
distribution facility, and so they both have obtained their water supply operator class 1 license.
Okay.
So I think for the first time in our history, we have 3 certified operators.
Yeah, we didn't, none of them passed in the 18 years I was clerk, so. But we talked about, adopting an ordinance which would allow an immediate $3 an hour increase for having studied, taken the test and passed it and achieving that license. They're more valuable to us with this license.
Now, is this something that every single employee of Waterworks would do and then get that? Like, is it something that somebody who maybe wouldn't even need to have that, they could get it, and then just to get that $3 raise, but it's not really even within their like realm of
That's a
duties.
good point. We talked about that in finance. So no, this is just for water technicians. So we have 2 water technician, positions. They're both filled right now. So essentially we have an office manager, a field supervisor, 2 water techs, and then our operator of record. So we passed this last year for the field supervisor position. It really kind of a matter of housekeeping because we never came back around to the water techs. So to answer your question, no, it's just a field supervisor or water technician. Any of them that obtain their license and the administrator deems that it's appropriate and helpful to the utility, they would be eligible for the stipend. Essentially, just to expand on it just a little bit further, while we maintain a water operator of record, they're statutorily they're only required to be at the plant 3 hours, a half hour a day, 3 days a week, so on 3 separate days. This is beneficial. Their water techs constantly come in, even on Saturdays and Sundays when they're off, they come in. We have rotating on call. They're able to check the pumps, the well field, check our chemicals, and make sure that we're compliant and sign off on it. So what this does is ultimately it lowers our overtime by having them and redundancy if somebody's on vacation or gets sick.
So we can entertain a motion to suspend the rules and declare an emergency, ordinance number 5, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Mrs. Bolton, second by Mr. Burns. To read by title only and declare an emergency, ordinance number 5, 2026, creating a pay stipend for the water technicians. Penny, can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Burns,
Yes.
Ms. Angelini,
Yes.
Ms. Meyer,
Yes.
Ms. Bolton,
Yay.
Mr. Rabel,
Yeah,
Ms. Campbell.
Now I need a motion to adopt.
I'll make that motion to adopt ordinance number 5, 2026.
I'll second that motion. I'm sorry, that was motion by Mrs. Bolton, second by Mrs. Angeline. Penny, can you do the roll call, please?
Mr. Burns,
Yes.
Ms. Angelini,
Yes.
Ms. Meyer,
Yes.
Ms. Bolton,
Yay.
Mr. Rabel,
yeah,
Ms. Campbell.
Ordinance number 5, 2026 is adopted. Now we can move on to our administrator's report, Mr. Hagan.
Good evening. First, welcome, Ms. Township. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for your interest. Keep this brief. I met with Duke Energy and the property owner, corner of Cooper and Porter Street regarding a gas substation project with Duke Energy that'll commence this summer. The footprint of that should be fairly small. There's 2, 3 maximum boxes that come out of the ground for vents. It's like an underground electric box. You're common. You see they're 3 foot by 3 feet. And so they'll be protected by bollards. They won't make that property undeveloped. That was the original concern that I no longer have after walking the site and speaking with Duke. We're at the 75% engineering on that, so we're tying up some options and modeling, and that should kick off this summer. Should be minimum impact to traffic. Village website calendar has been updated, and now thanks with the village calendar that is shared with council and reports live as changes are made. Also working with iPanda to continue to update our electronic forms and our internal routing. Essentially, when somebody fills out a form, it goes to the appropriate person, whether it's me or Penny or zoning department or building official. Been actively working to improve the village phone system, which has been plagued with issues since I started. Learned that when we signed a new contract with Alta Fiber in Q3 of 24, there was never a full system integration. So essentially, we're like living on 2 different platforms, like half voice over IP and half on an old merge system. I've had a handful of meetings with Alta Fiber and our IT contractor, and so next week we should be able to complete that merge. And what citizens will see is if you call our main line, whether that's 3490 for Waterworks or 1212 for the village, it'll take you to an auto attendant and give you key prompts to get wherever you need to go. So it should make it much less cumbersome to get in contact with anyone you need to in the village.
Has our general phone number changed then? Because 1212 used to be the police department.
1212 is this building, so it's the municipal offices and
So the old
and
number we
this one.
used all those years is not in existence
The
anymore?
5127.
Yeah,
It is. We haven't used it in so long.
okay,
So kind of all our forms say 1212, and with the way it goes to an auto attendant now, it's almost easier to just condense those into one.
okay. But if someone calls 1212, they can get they can get Penny or a live person if they want to, right?
Yeah,
So
so
the
if you
way
call,
they hit the button
you
and,
call 1212 and say, welcome to the village of Cleves. It's an emergency, hang up dial 911, for the village clerk, press 1,
okay,
police department, press 2, for the building official, press 3, trying to reach waterworks, press star, and it'll bounce you over to waterworks and into that route tree.
okay,
And same thing at waterworks. So whatever number you call, you'll be able to get wherever you need in the village.
okay. I was just confused because 5127 was always the number for the village. Okay,
On the utility side,
Real quick, did you say in your comments to Mr. McLean, I'm sorry, that you were putting Google Drive documents on the website as well as the calendar? Or did I
So-
mishear that?
when we archive after on the back end, so the Google Drive that you see with all the forms for council to draft forms. Once we complete the month, that's then archived with the copies of the signed ordinances, resolutions, are then archived in the month, the folder of the month, and that's going to automatically route over to a different folder. It's the same but different folder that you can see on the website.
Content will not live in Google Drive, but it will be automated from our system.
Yes. So in real time, as the month is completed and archived by Penny and I on the back end, we'll move it out of your Google Drive into a different folder, and it'll be available to residents.
Thank you.
Any other questions for that? On the utility side, continue to work on the EPA grant for Addison Water Meter Project and the regionalization. We've obtained an additional $110,000 in grant funding for the meter changeover and 0% financing on the meters. I had a pre-construction meeting today, and we'll commence that project hopefully by April 1st is the tentative start date, with a completion no later than May 1st. Service department's preparing to open the park next week, knock on wood, with the rain, hopefully it's flood again. Should have said that. Been in coordination with TRCAA. They understand our challenges, so been working with John and his team to get a plan to clean the corn stalks and get the fields ready at a minimum so practice can start for baseball and softball.
how bad was it last rain?
Wasn't as bad as I've seen, but wasn't good. They planted corn there last year, so you get the corn stalks, which are much harder to clean. We had a ton of corn stalks last year, but those were from a year prior, so it's not good, not bad. I think it'll probably take a week. We're gonna rent a water truck again, spray off the equipment, basketball court, and potentially get a cleanup crew to help with the corn stalks for the service department. So I would say barring any additional flooding, by the shooting for the 23rd is an opening, a soft opening, at least for ball fields for practice. Had a few economic development meetings with prospective investors regarding relocations of businesses to our revitalization district, redevelopment of existing structures, and also facilitating some partnerships amongst current business owners for new builds. Working with a community grant application with Duke Energy. Tentative award in place is $7,500, which will pay for ball field fences, new dugout benches and bleachers for spectators. Tomorrow evening, there's a planning and zoning commission meeting. At that meeting, they'll review the AutoZone site plans. AutoZone is set to break ground this summer. They'll be located next to Roney's on the corner of Cooper and Finley. At Waterworks, we've touched on this multiple times since I've been here, but we're at a point where we're moving forward with the implementation of online bill payment. I have a meeting set with PNC Bank, fiscal officer, and the office manager next week to start that process. Still hopeful and confident on the timeline of June 1st for implementation of that. And lastly, the donated parcel that council accepted at our last meeting, reached out to the title company and they're processing documents. So we should have clear to close on that in the next 14 days. Any
Right.
questions?
Any questions for Mr. Hibbing? Alrighty, we can move on to the mayor's report. I just have a few things. I'd like to again welcome our newly appointed councilwoman, Ms. Kemp. March is Women's History Month, and the village would like to recognize, celebrate, and honor the extraordinary contributions of women who have shaped our world, our country, and our community. In regards to Hamilton County, as of January 1st, 2026, there are over 230 women that hold public office in Hamilton County. Women hold a majority of the Hamilton County elected seats, 8 out of 11 offices, and over half of our judicial seats. Hamilton County has more women in elected office now than ever in the county's history, particularly at the county level. The village is in the process of purchasing and installing audio-video recording devices for the council chambers for the purpose of recording our minutes and maintaining transparency with the public. And I would like council's input on how we'll be utilizing the equipment to share our council meetings with the public. We have a couple options. We can, the meetings can be broadcast live on our YouTube channel that was previously set up by our prior mayor, Mr. Burkholz. We can record the meetings and post them on our website for future viewing, just like our minutes are posted, or we could do both. But I would like to hear from council what their preference would be.
What's the cost on both? There are costs involved in it? Or
After the cost of the equipment and everything being set up, is there a cost for the YouTube, to maintain a YouTube channel?
We utilize it for the service. I think it's sufficient for what we need. The concern, the trouble in the past has been the connectivity here. We've done everything we can here to increase connectivity, and from reaching out to Alta Fiber and upgrading our system and having them check at the street to purchasing all new infrastructure here. Both, from the O&T box where it comes in, the switches, routers, Wi-Fi, the LAN port, we've done it all, and connectivity remains an issue. So the struggle at times has been when we set the expectations that meetings will be broadcast live, it's at 7 p.m. and it fails. So at this point, we've exhausted all options built with fiber, and our IT technician doesn't see anything when they come here. But no cost. We've already purchased all of the infrastructure for it.
is there a cost like to go to YouTube or anything like that, or?
The YouTube subscription's free. At this point, I don't see why we need to upgrade to a paid service.
If that's the case, I'd like to see it go live. That way
I agree, but if there is this expectation that we're live and then there's glitches, and then I don't want to be disappointing people when, for whatever technical reasons, it doesn't work, and they're expecting it every month. So
I think we need to make it clear that we hope to go live.
but
But
if not,
that-
it'll be posted.
Yes, but if we encounter technical difficulties, the tape will be posted, blah, 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 blah. Will this be attached to our website, or do they have to go to YouTube?
They did go to YouTube to watch it live for the live broadcast.
Yeah, but what about the tape?
But if we can also record it and then post that recording on our website.
Okay,
So
that's
then
what I
people can,
was.
in the future, then go back and watch it, just like they can go in and read the minutes from prior meetings.
So essentially, we'll just create a hyperlink, like a button almost on the website that'll redirect you to YouTube.
I mean, I think we can try if we encounter too many problems, because it would be Penny who would be responsible for
All
operating
Penny's
that.
fault, okay, great, that's fine then.
And if it fails, it'd be Penny's fault. No, I just, I just think we got, let people know that our intention is to go live. But we have encountered problems in the past, and if for whatever reason it doesn't work, it will be
It
posted.
can be viewed at a later point on the village website.
And we'll probably put it on the website, even if it does go through, right?
I mean, we can do both, yeah, we can do one.
Yeah.
Or the other.
I
or
would
do
say
both.
put it on the website, whether it went through live or not.
Yeah, so do both. So we will, our plan will be to broadcast live on the YouTube channel once the equipment is installed and we work out all the kinks. And then we will also be recording it, and putting it up on our website in the event there is a problem with the live broadcast. Then residents can also then go to the website and watch it at a later time. And then the minutes are out there as well, and we'll get them updated so that they can also go to the website and find the minutes to our meetings.
I think as long as we get it on there in a timely manner, which would be.
Yeah, I think within the next day would be
Yeah.
reasonable.
I would also like to remind everybody that you can come to the meeting. We often say enough people don't come, but if you broadcast it and do this and do that, why should they? They can stay in the living room, eat their popcorn, laugh at us from a distance, and they don't have to come to the meeting. So you're always welcome to come. Second Wednesday of the month, 7:00.
Meeting in person's better, especially like my generation's like online stuff, COVID and the Zoom. It's like I'm over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it our current practice to store recordings? Or are we relying on YouTube to be the source of documentation because we have public records obligations for that?
We have not in the past been putting the recorded meetings on the website. So this would be something that would be changing.
I'm not telling you to change what you just said we agreed on, but I would advise that I don't want you spending a lot of your administrative efforts on this. It is a more robust solution to simply record it with a simple device and post it in a timely fashion. I don't personally believe it's critical that somebody watches our input at 7:00 because I don't think anything's changing within X hours. That's going to impact people's lives. And that way, I don't know YouTube, and it seems to me like every time I try to put something else in somebody else's service, it's hard to get it back. So it is very easy to have that copy, upload that copy, and they can take care of platforming it. And we're happy to link out to them. I don't see any, she's been doing this for 15 years now. I don't see problems with that. But it's much easier to file that video recording on our systems and archive it for our responsibilities if you do it in that order. Considering my experience with YouTube, that's not to say that somebody taking a fresh whack at it's not going to find more efficient ways. But
Well, that's why I was requesting that I was suggesting that we record it and post it on our website. That way we have a recording of it.
it's different to say I'm streaming to YouTube and to say I'm recording.
And so what he's saying is when we broadcast it, we're broadcasting through YouTube. And we're relying on YouTube to complete that broadcast and then archive it. Once it's archived on YouTube, then we would download it So if physical copy, and I think what I'm hearing you say is if we just recorded it, which is offline, there's less risk of failure. We record it, and then we can upload it to our YouTube channel after the fact. And that way we ensure that it's retained offline on our hard drive.
I at least want to endorse this as a fallback. Like, I think it's reasonable to take a whack at giving people the live stream. People have expressed that they value it. I think it's reasonable to make that effort. But I think you should advise us if we're failing on this documentation.
Given
Or,
the,
so we're not gonna have two cameras.
giving the connect, no, giving the.
And we can't record
connectivity
and
Problems,
process at the same time.
I think it would be best to record it, then post it to the, you're saying we would record it, then post it to the YouTube channel.
If you do record it, you can still upload to YouTube, and then
It just
it's
wouldn't be
archived there. It's a stream, so you can click it and run through YouTube.
So we will be recording and then uploading to YouTube and uploading to our website versus broadcasting live.
Those are the two options.
I will just point out that when I was the clerk, I tape recorded because I wanted that help when I did the minutes, in case I missed anything. And the auditors came in, and I saved all the tapes. But they made it quite clear, if you're gonna record or tape, that record is permanent, can never be destroyed, just like minutes can't be. And they actually recommended to me at that time not to record unless I wanted to save every tape and go through the expense of tapes. They said your minutes should be sufficient enough for the record. So I think we just need to remember if we do record, that I don't think we can turn around and record over that tape.
No, I mean, definitely we have to archive it. We have,
Yeah,
we have SD cards, we would save it and just archive it with our annual reports.
okay.
So is that consensus, the recording and then uploading to YouTube and uploading to the website versus live broadcast? Is that what I'm?
Storing data on the website can be an issue. Like, it's different than just linking to from the website, but if you're storing data on the website, that's gonna get your website bogged down and expensive.
So I think we would just have the one for the month and then we would replace that link, right, the next month with a new video. Like, we wouldn't have them all stored on.
We would have to have them saved on our computer if nothing else, right?
They'll all be saved offline. They'll all be archived offline. And so, again, my thought here is what I'll do is I will upload them to YouTube. So YouTube's managing the data, and I'll just put a hyperlink, a button, where you went, where you looked at minutes. You can say, watch our video here, and you click it, it routes you to the YouTube channel, and then that way they're dealing with the data there, not us
Right.
on our website.
Yeah,
If we go over a terabyte, I think it increases it considerably.
yeah. I just wanted the council to know that the difference, because some people were thinking like the video is embedded on the website itself.
I would advise us not to be involved in posting. You can check if having it in our Google Cloud is adequate for legal purposes and for our archiving purposes. And whether or not it is, that can still be a button, just like your minutes and past ordinances can be as well. But no, it can't, because you're not exposing Google Drive. That's the question I asked earlier. Okay. But you can have it there for sharing requests, just like it is.
It's, well, you could have a separate Google Drive. We could have a separate folder from Google Drive that's just like a Google form that's live, but it would be separate from portion.
Why don't you get us a solution and present myself?
Okay.
For
So,
right now, the general consensus though is that we will record it, then we will upload it to YouTube with a link from our website. Do you have a question, Dale?
That's fine, but say there's somebody who was unable to attend this meeting, but there was an issue on the agenda that was important to them. How soon are you gonna put these out there? I'm not saying Cleves, but Miami Township, there's times when you don't see things for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I mean, that's the advantage of having it live. It's right there, it's now, it's there immediately.
Our goal will be to get them out there as soon as possible. Now,
Will that be an assignment for somebody to have it on the next day or that evening or not me? No.
Is there a chance?
Wait, is that a
we could
ball?
tape
we
the
have not
hearing
gone that
there?
far with the discussion, Dale, as far as an expected frame.
I would think generally, Dale, it would be 24 hours or less, generally speaking, outside of like technical difficulty or somebody being sick. That would ultimately fall on Penny or myself. It's not a cumbersome task once it's downloaded and uploaded on YouTube. So it would definitely be by the end of the business week.
So the connectivity is, problems that you mentioned before on the live feed. Are we gonna have possibly that same issue in the recording of the meeting?
No, the recording's offline,
Okay.
so it's captured offline, stored on the device you recorded from.
So you can honestly even just use a phone.
I agree. Live streaming is easy and it takes away the need for somebody to upload it the next day. But the problem with attempting to live stream it, what we found is if the live stream fails or YouTube loses the document, we've created a public record, which we couldn't fulfill in a records request, and that's the concern. Doing it this way is a fail safe that we know we'll always be able to maintain that record.
And you are backing it up, even if it's live, right? And it could be posted the next day.
If it's live, my understanding is there isn't a way to back it up unless you had a separate device, or there's a mechanism that I'm not aware of. So when we broadcast live, we're broadcasting through YouTube. So YouTube streaming it. It's not until that's completed and then compressed that we can download it. And if something fails during that live stream, the compression, and the download, we've created a document that we can't produce. But if we record it offline, and then that file is done, it's saved locally on a computer, then we upload it. If the upload fails, we just upload again, and we still have it locally and offline. And that's the concern.
That sounds like a live stream wouldn't be good then. Is that correct?
Well,
I can continue to explore to see if there's the ability to live stream it and redundantly record it on the local device, then sure, I think live streaming is fine. But like absent of being able to do both at the same time, I think the fail safe here is to record it offline and upload it the next day.
Thank you all for that discussion and input. And
are you really thanking us?
I am thanking you.
Or are you sorry?
I thank you for your input.
Thank you,
That
Derek.
discussion.
Okay.
We will keep you updated once the equipment is installed and things are moving. The other thing I'd like to mention is Mr. Habig and myself met earlier this week with representatives from Chevron regarding them moving forward with the remediation work to speed up the process of the final cleanup and clearance of the Cleves Community Park. Hopefully within the next couple of years that will be clear and Chevron will be out of there. Also, I'd like to mention that the 2022 and the 2023 audit has been completed and the public record report or the public reports are available on the Auditor of State's website. And I also want to mention with this being the Women's History Month, that Vice Mayor Mrs. Bolton is going to be attending the local Girl Scouts meeting next week to be interviewed by them for them to receive their civic badges.
Well, and I'd like to take this time to say that I texted Jerry and I said, I'm the perfect person to go. I still have my Girl Scout sash with the badges and all. And she responded, well, isn't that funny? She still has hers.
and my badges.
So I thought, oh, I'm not the only goofball that saved a sash from the Girl Scouts for 35, 40 years. Huh? And she,
That was all that I have for my mayor's remarks, so.
yeah, my best, I was.
And move on to our committee reports, Linda. Would you like to report the finance
Yeah, most of everything we discussed was, action taken, whether through resolution or ordinance or Justin's report, but we did have a resident come to the finance, committee, Joe Marino, Coleman Woods resident, who has concerns about the retention ponds and the maintenance necessary. So we did have a discussion about that. We need to get a report or a recommendation from whether it be our insurance company or our solicitor as to the liabilities the village. I want it, before we make a decision that we're gonna take these over or whatever, I wanna make sure that we understand what our liabilities are and what the cost might be. It's even hard to get quotes on these, as it was explained by Justin, because not all of them have easy access. And getting that big
All of them
equipment,
don't have easy.
all of them don't have easy access. So getting the equipment to the retention pond to even dredge it and clean it is a task.
I mean, I'm assuming there's an easement attached with each of those.
Well,
for
that's
that
what we
purpose,
all
right?
assumed, and we'd have to look into that. And it would be taken into consideration, so there could be different quotes for each pond, depending on what it takes to get the equipment there, through whatever easement is provided.
Or the note on that was, even if we're sure that there is an easement, but we're sure that it also hasn't been used, so it might involve a contractor paving the way, or,
If it's
graveling,
there,
bush hogging, cutting down 15 years of trees. So everything requires effort and expense.
It just might affect the quotes. But I
So
did,
is that a quote that then, so let's say it's an easement on somebody's property, that would be their cost, not ours.
well, that's
clear the
all
way
the
for
stuff
that
we have to
easement.
discuss.
I think it should also be mentioned that Coleman Woods was intended to have a homeowners association, which if they had a homeowners association with fees, they would be the ones to address and maintain these ponds.
They don't,
Retention.
and there's no way that one.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why we're in the discussions we are. I did promise him that we would keep it as a standing item in finance, so we don't forget about it as we discuss and debate and try to decide how we want to handle this. The stormwater district was also brought up, and the fact that, when we were with Hamilton County, each property owner paid roughly, what, $10 a year, or
Under our old MS4 was there's
$7.
there were different structures based off permeable surface. If you're small or large commercial, it was between 7 and 15, I believe, back then.
yeah, a very small amount. And when we left the Hamilton County Stormwater District, that fee went off the taxes. So we are also looking into instigating, now that we've got the district on our own and we're taking care of it on our own, going ahead and replacing that fee, getting it back on it. It would not be a huge amount. We haven't even begun those discussions about the amounts yet, but
Would that be something that would have to go on the ballot, or would that be something that we
No,
can pass here?
no, it's a stormwater fee.
It'd be a property tax assessment, so it would be adopted as an ordinance through council. So historically, we had one till at this point, when we exited the Hamilton County Stormwater Program in 2014, 15, we no longer paid that assessment, fell off everybody's taxes. Problem is from 2015 until last year, nothing was done at all with our stormwater system, period, whether that's dredging the creek or
Storm sewers.
repairing storm sewers,
Basins.
cleaning them, street sweeping. So we've done that under the general fund the last 2 years. We're just at a point where we're gonna have to reassess that standardized fee to pay for those things. We're required to do certain preventative maintenance checks annually through our MS4 program. So we'll have more.
It would be a
information.
small amount. I don't think it would be anything that would cause a huge concern.
It would be
to a
consistent
resident.
with where everyone else is.
It's paying for Hamilton County. So that issue was discussed. The stipend for the licensed, water people was discussed. Potential future water plant repairs and upgrades down the road was also mentioned. We have for the America 250 event planning, the Naked Cry Girls have been secured for the event. And so they will be performing at our 250 celebration.
We had advanced.
They to be tied in with the fireworks that we've committed to. And plans are in the works right now to make it a whole day event.
I mean, they're big in Cincinnati.
That's what I hear.
I
I
saw
have
them in
never heard of
Cleves.
them.
They travel all over the.
I assumed that was my age, but everybody tells me they play music from,
You're gonna love it. They're good.
yeah, that's what
Should
I.
be a new fangirl when she.
You are. I think I'm gonna see you on
You're
stage. with
fangirling?
them.
Oh,
You'll be like.
You will be, not me.
I probably will. So that was good news. We did talk about the steel, truck bed versus the aluminum or stainless. And when the rotation was described to us and explained to us, we realized that the truck that needs the new bed is only gonna be in service for a couple more, maybe 3 years at the most. So it didn't benefit us to pay the extra, for the more expensive bed. We also talked about Edgefield and potential repairs. And right now, we're kind of in the dilemma of, do we pay the amount of money to repair the worst part and then potentially not be able to get a grant to repair the whole street or the whole other part? So that's still in discussion in finance. And then the economic development that was shared, Justin's already gone over some of that in his report.
Any questions for Mrs. Ball?
Please do.
We can move on to safety committee, Mr. Bagel.
I report on, the zoning and planning with the county, real quick.
Sure.
Okay, well, we have a zoning and planning, or what a zoning manual meeting next Tuesday. Hopefully, it's gonna be our last one. I talked at length with them today. There's a few items I had. I've not had any response from any council members on
Pretty
any
big
possible
binder,
changes
so.
that they would like in
I
that
sent
manual.
something to Justin, by the way,
Is it-
with questions. I had
Okay.
questions when I went through it.
Okay.
Do you still have that, Justin, or do I gotta find
Another
it?
meeting. What time is it?
I believe that we discussed it at, I believe I took your questions to them, but I do have an email, so
Okay,
I will make
We
sure
sent it
that,
right now.
I'll have to double check.
Okay.
I don't recall right now, but I'm sure I did.
Yeah, if you look over the manual, just send me some questions. Probably we've got a lot of it already cleared up. I know there was a few items, I went through it again today and talked to them at length today about it. Our goal is to have a final version next Tuesday be presented to the committee. And then, it'll be presented to council, meeting in April. Or hopefully the first reading. So, if we can get any questions answered or all the questions answered at the Tuesday's meeting, I like to get that done because, the cost of these books to reprint them is quite costly. And I don't think we need to reprint a new set now when we can get all the questions answered, prior to this. So, the goal is to finalize it Tuesday and then bring it to council the meeting in April, the first reading. So we can get that expedited. So that's on that. Now on safety report, our meeting was on last Wednesday. Started at 7 o'clock, all the members were present. We didn't have a Hamilton County Sheriff's report. A lot of that's probably due to all the moving parts going on around the village right now. But I did have a lengthy talk this weekend with the sergeant and told him what our goals were. We need to get the report prior to our meeting. Even if we're a month behind, I told him we're okay with that. So we can at least keep an eye on, assess problems areas, and so we can address them in a timely manner. Miami Township Fire Department, I know we didn't get a report on them. Again, we're requesting those prior to our meeting. Administrator did not have a report, and he wasn't there at the meeting. So, under old business, we were talking about the handicap accessible parking. The committee discussed this at length and are suggesting the following: that the designated parking spots be designated lines in blue indicating the front and back of the parking spots. And when applicant for a handicap accessible parking spot has available and adequate off-street parking, which will be determined by the village, no handicap parking will be granted. These are just suggestions right now. We're going to fine tune this
Can I say,
at the
so
next meeting.
we weren't really sure like what the process is even at this point, so it was hard for us to discuss like what changes need to be made, because we don't even know what people need to do to even get one or how they secure a spot, so we weren't sure like how to suggest changes, because we're not even sure what that form looks like. Is there a form?
We should have here as well.
Okay, well, we didn't know that last week.
Right, I just received it after we. So we will discuss this at length at the next meeting.
And when is the next, safety meeting?
First
First
Wednesday.
Wednesday
First
of the month?
Wednesday of the month, yes,
At what time?
5:30. Okay, Duke Energy's intentions, Justin, talked a little bit about that, so I don't need to talk about that. Residents' concerns speeding through the village was raised at the last council meeting. There was no action taken on speed signs on Harrison or on Cooper. The committee's position is that Cooper Avenue would be an active area in need of speed signs more than what on Harrison Avenue would be. Committee voted unanimously not to pursue the installation of any speed bumps in the village. This is something I also talked to this past weekend with my conversation with the sergeant about increasing radar detection along North and South Miami. So I talked to him at length about that, and I think he has a better understanding of what we're trying to achieve after our conversation. Street lighting and pedestrian safety concerns dark areas during school commutes, particularly in the fall and winter months, especially now since we just changed clocks. They've sprung forward, so it's darker in the morning. That's something I also relayed to the sergeant to increase his presence along the North and South Miami because of that. The committee would like the administrator to contact Duke concerning additional street lighting along North and South Miami.
Installing more streetlights?
That would be a significant cost.
That, yes,
What's that?
That would be a
Significant.
significant cost.
and it would be at
Well,
our
that's-
cost, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would be at our cost.
That's
And
why
then-
I have the way I have it.
Okay.
Also, just a note on that too, there's been some chatter up in Westgate, their Facebook page about no lighting up on the rest of Western Ridge in, the side street, Western Hills Drive. So my house sits on the corner of Western View and Western Ridge, and there was absolutely no lighting up past.
That was
Okay.
done by the developer when they brought in.
So there have been some questions asked about that.
Well, yeah, that last section was done by a whole different developer,
And
wasn't
they
it?
did not
Because
have any lighting.
it was a mess, but the streetlights are put in when the subdivision is developed.
Yes.
Just, well, those poles weren't put in until after. Those poles were put in way after, I moved up there. I had the last house, and there was nothing up past my house. It was all empty. and there was no roads, no nothing.
Whatever, all of the lighting and utility poles up there were put in by the developers when.
It's part of the development
It's
of the
part
area.
the development, the subdivision development.
Right, but then when they did the last section, there were no poles up
Well, that's because the developer left. And somebody else had to come in, and I don't know that all the same agreements were put in place with the second person that were put in place for the first. I don't think it's the village's financial responsibility to put streetlights in the subdivision.
No.
But I think for
Developer.
safety, it's something I think we should look at, because it's pitch black and the first time a kid gets hit by a car, then it is our responsibility.
Well,
Like
we should
it might be a
definitely
lot,
get
but do we
quotes.
know how much that is? Like, what is a lot?
we should get quotes. It's a lot.
I will obtain quotes, and there's potential when if you add street lighting, that you can make an assessment on just those residents, and if we have one like an asset view. I'm not proposing that, I'm just saying, I'll get the options.
We just need to
the
know,
quotes,
like,
and
what is
see what the feasibility of that is.
that's all, yeah.
I know even like on my trip through Western Ridge, the pole was like right in front of my house, and that light went out, and it was darker than night, like, it was really, really dark and stuff in that area, and we have a light above our garage and stuff that we turn on, I think to help illuminate like the sidewalk and stuff, so if there was anybody passing by. But it took, a couple days for them to come out and repair and fix that light. It'd be quite dangerous.
We used to have a way that people could call the clerk and have it put on a repair thing. I don't know, that was years ago.
Individual residents can call me again.
Oh, okay, they don't have to call you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you reported.
I think you can do it online, it was on your website. I think that's what I did, and I reported it.
You can just call it in yourself.
Well, I know Aston View, they were sure they wanted streetlights, and they got a totally different kind of gas lighting, and I don't know how far apart they were, whereas Coleman Woods they don't even have sidewalks in Aston View, they didn't even want sidewalks. So I think when they're developed, a lot of decisions are made, and
But Aston View, I mean, you don't have the pedestrian traffic that you have on South Miami.
no, you're
Even the kids
absolutely
walking
right.
to school from, so I feel like that's a totally different.
You're absolutely right, and that's another point I wanna make too. If they are still using CT Young building or any school, like buses are pulling in there,
Yep, that's
cars are pulling in there.
That is
That's
still
our kids.
technically a school.
It hasn't been identified as a school zone. People are not slowing down to 20 anymore. When I first moved in there, it had the lights. And I
There's
know
a
I,
preschool there in that building, correct?
I think,
That's so that's the feelings, right?
yeah, but I think
So.
as the numbers are expanding and they're talking about running out of room, they might start using that building for more than business.
They use it for a lot of stuff.
They may move kindergarten to that. It does, the fact that kids are getting dropped off, I think we need to experiment
We can,
or explore.
We can ask our maintenance department to make sure that the CTO is marked, the street is marked to identify that as a school zone.
I
Because
think
that is still a school.
We
that's,
just got lighting in, we have for lights where they can come and cross, but cars don't stop. And
well, I hear
so
someone,
we actually have their flashing lights right there by CT.
Yeah, the crosswalk signs that we put in,
Yes.
I get complaints from the resident on the corner
Mhm.
all the time about cars not stopping for people in the crosswalk.
And it is sad, because we watch our kids get off the bus and we see
And that's
kids
something that
have to really watch because the cars will
we
not
can,
stop.
we can maybe mention that to Officer Schmid
Mm-hmm.
again about the school zones and the crosswalks.
Well,
because
this
I
is
can tell
something-
you pulling out of Westgate in the mornings on my way to work.
Yeah.
I mean,
We see you there.
the cars are parked,
Yes.
so it's hard to see.
They
And,
put some mirrors up. I know they've been putting mirrors up everywhere to help.
yeah,
That's
It
on
just-
the other side.
But when it's
But
dark,
if they're going 20 miles an hour.
Right, right.
If they're going 35 or 40, it's a totally different
Yes.
situation.
And they do.
Well, and we
Yeah.
talked about this at our meeting last week, people are concerned about speeding, but unless people are sighted, people aren't gonna slow down.
Correct.
So, you know, like Addison, back when they had their own police department, nobody would speed in Addison because you would know. You would
Everybody's
get
county knew not to speak.
Exactly. And so
Especially
we
on
established a
police
little bit
force.
more of that in our own
That was
community.
one of
The
first
speeding,
things
I don't think it's gonna resolve.
down
itself.
there, don't speed through Addison.
Okay, so
Continue on.
continue on.
Okay, sidewalk safety, we didn't decide anything on that, we're gonna continue to have that underneath old business. Snow emergency plan, we're starting the process of that. I've talked with John, safety director, and with Justin about, what would be good areas in the location to designate snow emergencies. And, I'll actually have the snow emergency ordinance here that we're gonna take a look at next month. So John's gonna provide us, with, what areas, what streets that he feels, would be, would qualify for snow emergency signs, and what the cost of putting those signs up was gonna be.
When you talk about snow emergency, you're talking about designated streets that will be no parking on the street during a snow emergency so that our plows can easily
Yeah.
access the street.
But who declares that emergency?
That's what we
I will
have,
have to look into. find
Usually
out.
it's the mayor, isn't it?
it's, the
Hamilton
ordinance,
County, you said Hamilton
the ordinance
County.
we have now, it's the mayor.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But we can, I don't know who, whether it just has to be that, or whether it should be Justin, or whether it should be John, or any one of the three. That's something that powers of you can figure that out, so.
Well, if the authority rests with the mayor, it would be based on judgments. It would be a collaborative judgment call between the maintenance, the guys that are out there plowing and, you know.
So however we
But
work it
we
out.
can discuss that further as we move along.
But, Duke Energy substation, Justin already talked about that. Under new business, we talked about, motorized bikes, which was talked about with the sheriff. And, there is an ordinance that we have on the books in Cleves that does address that. So we'll be looking at that again at the next meeting. With no further business, our meeting adjourned at 8:23. Oh, I forgot to also report that we're changing our meeting times to 5:30.
Has that been updated on the website?
Not yet. I can do that tomorrow.
That's all I have. Thank you.
And that will be permanent time change, correct?
That's what we agreed upon.
Yes, are we gonna have sidewalks by the school with that, gas transfer place?
And AutoZone goes in, that's a good question. Do you know if
Because
they're
And
extending
the
that
school
sidewalk
were
down?
worried about it.
I'm working with
Finley?
John on that. There's an Ohio Revised Code statute that mandates sidewalks. John and I are working through that.
Good.
There was allegedly a verbal agreement in place with One Holland that once the full frontage was developed, they would run sidewalks through Roney's. We need to reach out to them. Again, I don't know why that wasn't memorialized in writing. I don't know the validity of that. So we're working through it, but the goal is, yes, to have sidewalks.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Bagel regarding safety? If not, then we can move on to Parks Committee. Mr. Burns?
Yeah, you know what, well, Justin, did you take minutes for the special 250th? I
I took loose minutes. I don't have them prepared.
I have that in a alternative format. I'll look and see if there's highlights we can talk about. Parks itself was pretty straightforward. Let's see. We already mentioned that there may be additional funding to take care of certain things. I believe Justin said this obliquely, but I have a note that's Chad Schaefer from Duke. We might be able to allocate some funds from them towards some of our priorities. I don't know that that's been finalized, but that's that maybe be able to put toward the temporary fencing, which we memorialize that we are in favor of, that we should go ahead and procure for the enhancement of softball tournaments. These are temporary nylon mesh fences that can be supported by posts dug into kind of like a beach umbrella spiral well, and then removed when the bigger, when the bigger threat is nuisance than it is weather or, yeah, so they're removable. There are, let's see, there's a plan for the fields. If it floods, if flooded, they'll be tilled. There'll be regular expenses on dirt. There was a re-acknowledgement to proceed on putting trees in near the softball parks for the comfort of guests, so that they can get started. Let's see. We again discussed, discussed different ideas that might be fun. Mary Angeline suggested a parkour course or,
What course?
parkour, like,
Parkour, oh, parkour.
yeah. It's spelled park course, so I have been confused since I was a freshman in high school. Sorry. The, settled issues of coupons. We did not bring up the electricity installation. We'll get back to that next time, maybe. Benches in the America 250, the grant was due. It has been submitted. We are still waiting so far as I know. Fireworks are all set up. We have not heard from Slamology. We're not encouraging them of our own initiative to come try to park in the park, unless they pipe up again.
I say we avoid that.
That was the consensus, that if we don't want the hassle if they're not gung ho about it.
Do you want to remind everybody, Kevin, of the date of our 250 celebration?
Well, I'll try to get into details a bit more on that.
Okay.
It is June 27th, is the main event. And the last thing for parks is, we asked Justin to look into insurance considerations of putting the Gaga Ball installation into the skate park with a picnic bench, just as something we can use that space for. That's not terrible use of space. There was an email, but I don't know if there was a response.
Yeah, there's been back and forth, and she has not provided me answer yet. So I don't know if she took it to underwriting or what, but she hasn't ever given me a definitive. So I'll let you know as soon as I hear back.
That should be a very low effort win that might look better. We also talked about putting the painted checkerboard on the pavement or something like that, the light game that people could come to the park. There'll be the usual issues with vandalism. Who knows? Maybe our community will shine through and not molest the checkers. We'll see. We'll probably try to come up with solutions for that. I guess that meeting's next Monday. I would like to change that meeting time, so think about what you prefer.
Next Monday is park.
What time are you looking to change the meeting time to?
Just tell me your opinions.
Are
I
you
do not
looking
want
for a
to.
permanent time change for your meetings?
Yes,
5:30.
we're at 5:15 on Mondays to accommodate either the safety committee, which no longer meets on Mondays, or the Christmas walk, which is not relevant until
August.
the fall. Yeah. And it is disrupting my work, so I want to be good.
What time's good for you?
6 or 7 is a typical meeting time, but
What about 6?
Or 6:30, 7. I mean,
Is that
6:30
fine?
sounds good to me. But do you prefer 7?
6:30 is fine. We can make a
6:30?
change now. If we want.
6:30?
Yeah, that's,
Do we want that change for next Monday?
that's up to you.
Yeah.
You wanna go and make that.
You know what, we were also trying to accommodate Justin.
Yeah, because
Let's keep our meeting time and discuss it then.
Yeah, 5:15.
This week, 5:15. I forgot about that consideration. Okay, I have to find the 250th, one moment. There was an additional meeting, Thursday, a week after Parks, where I think the major thing is to establish, we already said, Navy Karate Girls are coming, that expenses has been approved. That we hope that that's coming back to us, or will drive recompense through beer sales later, if not. That is one of the candidates. That is one candidate for, expensing to the grant, should it be approved. It's not open. Stand by. Let's see. We did hand out lots of different action items, but I don't know what's worth reporting here. Insurance policies, all these things are identified as logistical things we're going to handle, draft by ourselves and report back to the committee when appropriate. We talked about the staff that we'll have coming from the parks, waterworks, maintenance, outlined vendors that we're looking for. I don't think that they're all established. We have 3 food trucks-ish lined up. We're soliciting, deciding whether or not to solicit additional vendors, people in maybe not tents because of insurance purposes, but installations.
Sullivan's is secure. Doobies is secured, and Nacho and Bush Tom and Carter are all secured.
It's Dubers, isn't it?
They call it
Yeah.
Doobies ice cream.
Are these the
He's working
same
on
vendors
popcorn,
that were supposed to be here for the Christmas one that didn't show up? Okay.
So Sullivan's up the road is agreed to do, like American Flair, they're gonna do Sully burgers, dogs, brats, food.
And, Hippie Cop is interested.
Yeah, I'm just
Aaron's
talking ones
working on
that are confirmed. We're gonna go through the list on the rest.
Yeah, there was some hypothesizing on the actual content of what's on stage, honors to veterans, and MC, shuttling people on and off, different acts. We know that the school can't be involved on the band level anyway, band and choir.
There's 2 dance studios that are gonna be there.
So the resolving the order of things is on the to-do list. I don't think we have their meeting set, so
We haven't set another one. We can, when we meet on Monday, let's work to get another one. I'll update, and I think we'll be able to check a lot of action items off. We can schedule another joint one between the committee and ourselves.
yeah. And the only other item I would add from a parks perspective is I happened to see BMX posting, please don't ruin our track again. Do we do anything to, should we make our own public announcement or signage that says, hey, don't run on the track, don't run RC cars on the track, don't
We do have
do it when it's wet.
yeah, we have a village sign and we can put a poster out. We put cameras up there with them, so, but as far as, preventative, we do have a sign up. We can put something out on the website. I'll share it on our parks Facebook page as well.
That's all.
Thank you, Kevin. Anything else anybody would like to bring before council?
I just have a quick thing. So I know we had a streets committee, which we haven't met for a couple months, but I feel like people are ready for decisions to be made about that gate over there at Coleman Woods. People have asked me, like, what's going on with that? When are you guys going to decide? We had all the public hearings. I feel like it's ready to be a decision this time.
Do we have formed street committee?
Kevin and I, and then Jenny Heisel, the citizen who was on the committee as well. And Justin was there for those meetings are all of them. Yeah.
So has the committee come to a consensus of recommendation to council?
Well, I think the committee's in a a disagreement, and I think we just want to bring it to council and let council decide.
So there's dissenting opinions on it, but we did our due diligence, so I think we're ready to put that in front of council, at least for a first reading, or at least get it on the agenda and allow, the streets committee members to speak on it, give an overview, and I'll provide the survey results to council, so there's an informed decision whichever way we go.
So can I put that on next month's agenda, or do you think it needs to be done sooner than that?
That way at least it's not, yeah.
Let's make sure we get.
There is no opinion that says we unblock it and let construction stuff start flowing through immediately. So I think
Yeah.
wait for a month to be.
Yeah, if we were in agreement with one thing, it was definitely not to allow it to be open while construction.
Together.
Which means practically you probably have 2 years to decide, which is not satisfactory.
No, well, because I think if we're not gonna do it, then it's time to get some balusters there. Yeah. And I think, I don't know what the decision will be at council, but I think.
Well, if a decision's made not to open it up, then we can work immediately to get permanent.
Well, not everybody feels that way.
I know, but it'll be a majority rule, so.
We'll put that on the agenda so we can have discussion, the committee members can give their input, and we can have general, discussion amongst council and do that next month. Is there anything else? Anybody have anything else? This time I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn if someone would like to do that.
So move.
Mr. Bain was seconded by Mrs. Kim. Adjourn. We have a roll call meeting, or there's call heavy. Mr. Burns,
Yes.
Angela.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Ms. Bolton.
Yay.
Mr. Babel.
Yay.
Ms. Peck.
Yeah.
Thank you, meeting adjourned at 8:43 PM.
I'm still here.